and welcome. It's 6 o'clock and we have got the most amazing one-day special. A bumper bundle. We are talking about some amazing products, a fabulous brand. I mean, Pentart, we know it's going to be incredible. A huge complete collection that I will tell you about in a few moments, which will include your one-day special and all the savings. But of course, a fabulous person to demonstrate the whole lot to us. Lovely Lou, you've got your work cut out.
I know, I've made a right mess. I've only been here 10 minutes. No, I was just like covered in, but you wait till you see all the sparkle. Oh, it's luscious.
And it's got everything that we need in it. And I love this because it's been put together with kind of projects in mind. So we're going to be going through everything, but you've kind of got over the complete bundle, which is at the bottom of the screen, you've got 6 different projects within there. And then, of course, the mediums, you're going to have the leftovers, which is going to be loads within here. So there is a lot. We are talking about, in the bottom of the screen, the details there, 43 full-size products. You are going to have so much fun with regards to this one. Now, a couple of housekeeping things, because we're talking Pentart, we're talking of overseas companies, so of course we've got extended delivery with this one. So it's the 7th of October with regards to dispatch of this one. So just to let you know, I think I've ticked those boxes. Tick, tick, yep, right. One-day special. Let me tell you about the one-day special, because it's one of those situations you can go for as little or as much as you want. Obviously, if you're going for the biggest bundle, you're going to get the biggest saving. But with a one-day special, we've got the details on the screen. So with this one, you've got a project straight away. You can see your amazing box that's featuring with this one. You've got the most incredible elastic wood, which I can't wait to hear about. And then you've got things like your heavy body gel medium, and you've got the most incredible sparkle gel. So, Lou, this looks brilliant.
It is, and it's great because, I mean, I'm looking at that price, and what a beautiful little gift that is, a real good keepsake, but then you've got all the stuff left over to use again and again and again. You know, you're not going to use... You're going to use a tiny bit of the product you've got on that little... But the little box is different. It's nice. It's not like
a little kind of stand on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's quite retro, but you could also, depending on what you do with it, make it look like an old sewing box or a
See, I'm looking at it and I think it's got a very oriental theme to it as well.
You know, black lacquer and stuff like that. Yeah. Absolutely.
I love it. Now, of course, you've got that as a project, but then you've got the elastic wood. What's elastic wood?
Right, it's a compound wood now that sets when cold, and when you heat it, it's mouldable and remoldable. So it's not just one trick, you can sort of remold it. Now, it goes round curves, which is incredibly difficult to try and get, you know, that around that. I've got a different one, don't worry, yours is the round one, I'll you get that. So you pull it now and it'll snap. But once you reheat that up, you can bend it round really tight curves as well.
So if we want to cut into it, do we have to get like a saw and like you would with wood? No?
I use a knife, just a knife.
Oh, okay.
And I do cut it when it's warm. But the way to measure with this isn't with a tape measure, it's a piece of string.
Oh, okay. Oh, can you show us that in a bit?
It's easier then to get the circumference of something round. If you're using a tape measure, more often than not, it's difficult.
Sounds like a plan. Now, of course, you've got that. You've got your heavy body gel matte with regards to that one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is like a glue, but it's like a gel medium. You can add all the sparkling gels to it to get a transparent glaze. It's more like what you can't do with that. And everybody's got a gel of some sort in their arsenal, like to glue with as well.
Yeah, yeah, really good point. Keeps its shape, doesn't it? Keeps its body. Then you've got the most incredible sparkle gel. Now, I'm going to let's have a little look. Oh, no, I can't, because it's all stuck together there. I didn't realise. Where am I? Let's go down to this gorgeous pink. Now,
yeah, this is stunning.
Oh, my goodness. This is beautiful. Now, you can see,
and they don't, and I only did a quick...
I can't tip it up because it will pour, because it is almost like a kind of paint that you've got in there. But you can see that interference. You can see it around here, that gorgeous gold that you've got in amongst it.
And
oh, my goodness.
I've done the wrong colours, guys, but there is a paint chart with it on, and it's that top colour there. And I've mixed it with one of the browns and got a beautiful rust colour. And I really did only put a wet paintbrush, dip it in. I didn't do a couple of coats, and it's solid colour.
Okay.
But that gives you an idea of how beautiful. Yeah, that lasts for ages.
Well, it's Pentart, so you've got a concentration of colour in these, haven't you? So that's the key thing.
The chemists.
Now, am I going to get this back in place without knocking everything over? That's a little bit dodgy, to say the least. But I did it. There you go. Details on your screen. That's your one-day special. You've got a £7 saving with regard to that one. Just £24.22. So that's your first of your 6 projects if you're going for the complete bundle. Don't worry, I will take you through everything as we go. But if you're wanting that one by itself, one-day special, then obviously you can do so. But before you check out your basket, you might want to have a little look at the other 5 projects that you've got now.
Bush.
We do love a pour, don't we? And this is an amazing kit. Now, within this one, you've got all the elements that we're talking about. So the details are on the side if you want to go for this by itself. But again, it is included with the complete collection. £13 saving, that will be brought forward to the complete collection as well. So you're not missing out on any of that saving. But we do like a good pour, don't we?
We do, and look at how much pouring medium you get in that when you think it's only 50/50, and the paint in the tubes is so cool because when the paint, just a little tip, when the paint runs out, which you're going to use it that much, keep those for your pours.
That's a good point, yeah.
And you can draw with them, because we're going to be drawing, we're going to do a feather pour.
Right, okay, because I've only really thought of it as being like the little paper cups that you turn upside down and
we're going to be drawing with a pour.
Oh, okay.
Very, very easy.
I love it, but can I show you this? Let me just bring that forward.
Look at the
How
glaze
incredible is that? That could be your first project. You're going to get all the components for you to create these. There are further components available on the website if you want them. And of course, if you do want to double up on this one and add an extra one into your set, then you can do. £29 and 7 pence. But again, the bottom of your screen, that is included as a complete project. That is project number 2. Then we're moving on. Now, this one is a brilliant one because you've got a little set of 4. I say a little set. They're little pots, but they pack a punch.
They are, again, Pentart chemist, so you know the pigment in there is strong. These are stunning because the colours you don't normally see. I mean, we used to get some, and I remember a little pot was like, it was about £9.99 for a tiny pot. These, honestly, they're like a polish, so you can actually get a sheen with them as well.
And I just love taking the lids off because they smell absolutely amazing.
Don't they?
They're gorgeous. It's like a citrus smell to them now. Those ones, you've got your silver, you've got your gold feature in there, but can I show you some of the more unusual tones that you might not have come across before? Got sticky labels on everything here. Now look at that. That is a colour and a half, isn't it? Oh, that is so much of the moment, that colour.
It's almost like a nude makeup as well. Not that it is, it's not nothing like that. But if you think of like highlighter colours that are in fashion, and the same with that, it's a beautiful highlight colour.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous, and you can see there all that sparkle coming through. So those, all 4 of them coming together with a saving, so that £3 saving again will be carried forward. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I'll sort it out in a minute. But I'm not going to do the maths. I'm not going to do all that bits and pieces. But bear in mind, all of these savings are brought forward. Now, next set. This is fabulous. Sparkle gel. Now, this is where you've got busy with the kind of paint swatches.
This is the rest of it now.
Okay.
So you get the 3 colours in the main, and then you get these colours as well.
Gorgeous.
Now, these, again, they pack a punch. The colours in them are stunning. And you get a range. So you've got a blue-green, and you've got browns in there, and they all mix and match beautifully. And I've just gone over and mixed some of the other colours with them.
And that's using the one day special as a part of it as well, isn't it? Because I mean, it'd be rude to leave it out, really, wouldn't it? Yeah. So £18 and 75 pence. If you want those ones by themselves, of course you can do. You've got a £5 saving, and again, that £5 saving is being carried forward to the complete bundle. Then the next set that we're going to share with you, this is your antiquing paints. Now, this is brilliant because you've got a whole combination, including your paint remover with this one as well. So tell me about this one, Lou.
Well, we've all tried the antiquing thing, and sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to try and get that effect because it's the ratio of paint and water and how long you leave it. You don't need to worry about wiping off with it. You paint it with the antiquing paint, you get the remover, wipe it away, and it does all that other stuff here, and it gives you this beautiful patina, or patina, whatever you want to call it.
Gorgeous.
And you can do it on anything, glass. It works on everything, but the finish is beautiful.
So what's this that it's actually been worked on?
This one, I think, is that the plastic one?
Yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah, that's a plastic one.
That's really weird. Because when you pick it up, you expect it to be really, really weighty.
Exactly. And these products are all good on all surfaces, especially if you've got one of the previous, like, primers. But they're a chemist, so they know about pigment, they know about glue and sticking.
Yeah, they come at it from a different angle, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So again, if you're wanting to work with that one, then again, you've got a fabulous bundle. You've got your 4 antiquing paints and your antiquing paint remover, just £14 and 50 pence. Brilliant value for money with an £8 saving, but it's included in your complete bundle at the bottom of your screen. Next set for you, oh, this is brilliant because this has got your light modelling paste. Now, this is the one where you get all that fluidity of movement when it's dry.
Absolutely. And what I managed to do was, because you do need to let it dry, some are still a little bit damp, but I managed to get the pink one, and it produces the most beautiful lace
Oh wow! Look at that.
It takes a few hours, but if you think, look, it's like fabric now, and I can just wrap it around.
I was just about to say it could be perfect width.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and you do 3. There's little tricks about how to join it, but it's a perfect size. But it's just the fluidity. It's more like fabric.
Brilliant.
And I'll show you how to use. It's so simple, and then we'll by tomorrow or tonight.
I know Leonie's a fan of light modelling paste, so yeah, if you're wanting that one, you're going to get a big pot, and of course a lot of it you will kind of scrape off and put back into the pot. You only use the smallest amount. 3-dimensional flowers, as you can see, different sizes there. You've got some gorgeous kind of lace effect there, and a gorgeous kind of almost like a flourish, really pretty set, and they're getting all of that. £15.99, £12 saving. But you know what I'm going to say? That saving is carried forward to your complete collection. You're not going to miss out on that saving at all. Now the next is another project for you. So with this particular one, you've actually got your bottle bag, which of course you can see in your kind of calico base there, but then you've got some additional things that you can be able to use with fabric paints. Oh, all of a sudden my ears are pricked up. Fabric paints in a whole variety of different colours, but I love the kind of application that you've got with these. They're like pens almost.
Absolutely, they're like the detail pens, but they pack a punch, these colours. All you need to do is iron them on a 40 degree on the back, and they're permanent, washable, everything. And the applicators are great. Keep those little sponge applicators because they make great patterns as well. So, and they're not just for one use, you reuse them again,
Love
little
it.
sponges.
There you go, another £5 saving, again being carried forward, but if you want to go for that by itself, £14.92. Now, I hope you've been adding it all up as we've been going along, but don't worry, we have got a final figure for you. So actually £53 is the saving that you're accumulating. Then you've got an additional £10 saving, so you're actually saving £63. Now, when we were going along those different bundles, we've seen different prices, just shy of £15 and so on. So you imagine that you are paying that price with your complete bundle. The saving is pretty much covering the cost of several of these bundles, which is a brilliant deal. Now, if you're wanting to spread the cost, which of course you can do, then you've got the ability to spread your cost over 3 payments. Makes it incredibly affordable, because today all you are spending is £41.47 plus your post and packing, unless of course you're a Freedom member, and then obviously your second and third payments as time goes on. Now, lots of you going for the complete bundle with regards to this one, so much so that, what was the update, sorry? 20%, I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Yeah, 20% of the stock had gone. This is just almost like craft heaven, isn't it? Having such brilliant quality products from a leading company within the craft industry and arts as well. And as Lou said, the company, the family company, they are chemists by nature, so they kind of go into, rather than just kind of colour and what you can do with it, why it does what it does, how everything will work together and give you different results. And that is a beauty. And so many of these concentrated colours, you need the tiniest amount. So when you've worked with these and you've done your projects to start with, they are going to last you for ages and ages. Things like your wax paste. I've got wax paste that I've probably had 3 years when I think about it, because you only use the tiniest amount, but it's the fact that you've got it all at your disposal. Now, Lou's done some fabulous little swatches for us with regards to those gels, so I'll show you these. Now, these mix up. These all relate to the complete bundle. Some of them will feature what you've got within the one day special. Some of them will feature the additions, but it's kind of the results that you get mixing them together. I mean, we're looking at kind of antique looks, but then we've got those bright, zesty colours too.
Yeah, and you've got warm and cold colours. So what you're going to get is a real sort of mix of tones as well in between them all. And you get that flash of gold going through as well.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is beautiful.
And of course, because of them being a gel, I'm guessing that you can kind of get different results depending on how much you build it up.
Absolutely, and you can use it with the heavy body and get a glaze.
Ooh, okay.
And a gel is more of a transparent, but you can build it up and get quite concentrated colours. I do really think these are wonderful.
Beautiful.
They just pack a punch, so much so that that little pot, you think that, but the pigment in it is amazing. It really is strong.
It's the concentration, isn't it? That's the key thing. So, details are on your screen at 604024. If you already work with some of these products, I'd love to know what you think of them and how you've got on with them in the past. Obviously, Lou's going to be here for the whole 24 hours, giving us loads of advice and guidance. But if there's anything you need to know, then do get in touch with us, and I will certainly pass those questions on. studio@thecraftstore.com. Now, when you shop online, obviously, you're going to be able to pop the complete bundle in. You'll be able to look at all the different elements that we've got for you as well. You'll also be able to check out some of the additional things that we've got when you come to check out your basket. So, for instance, Molly in the gallery, she's popped in our complete collection there because she wants it all. But look at that, just £41.47. Now, when you actually check out your basket, what you will get presented is a few additional things that you might like to consider. So things like the heavy body gel there, you might think to yourself, oh, actually, I want more of that. Or you might want more of that wonderful modelling powder, which you can get hold of. It's just £1.99. So these you can add in with no additional post and packing. That is the beauty. And of course, if you want more of those fabric paints, they are there. Then all you need to do, pop those into your basket or refresh your screen if you want to see if there are any others, and then of course you'll be presented with even more. So do have a little look at those, because some of them are absolutely cracking little deals worth adding in. And of course you can spread the cost of those as well. So if you've got your 3 flexi buys, you'll spread your cost of those over 3 payments as well. So Lou, we've got a lot to get through over 24 hours. So what's the first thing?
Well, the first thing is I thought I'd show you some little tips and tricks about some of the moulds and things, because then we can let them dry over. I mean, the light modelling paste, you pick it up and again it's one of them you think, there's now in that, and there is. So it's a great consistency on its own. I'm just going to show you. You don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot. So I've got the pink mould. I've not put anything on it. I don't need a release agent of any kind. Some you do, and all you do is you basically leave a very thin skin. Now, if you leave the thinner your skin, the less, the more transparent it will be. And if you can see that's more transparent, then say that one.
Oh yes, yeah.
And all it is like the amount you put on. But I would say leave a skin on the back. I'll tell you why, because it's very, very fine, this. It's one of the finest I've ever used. And if you haven't got that, it hasn't got much to sort of stick to.
I suppose that kind of ends up being the foundation of the design, doesn't it? Even though it's kind of sitting on the top.
Yeah, and it smooths out the back as well, because it'll smooth out and any little sort of dips and troughs, when you glue that on, it's great. These do take a lot longer to dry. It took a couple of days for it to dry properly, but when it does, this is flexible. So this, again, a lot of them, when you try and do this, they actually crack. It's not going to crack. Okay. So again, be really, you could imaginative with these moulds. And the flowers, again, because of how deep they are, they will take a lot longer. And you can also use these moulds with your glue as well, don't forget that.
Okay, yeah.
So you can,
things like your resins and stuff as well.
You can trap little elements in it and then put another layer on. So these moulds are great for that. So I've put a little bit on it. It's like buttering bread, and it, that's as easy as it is. I'm going to get a little bit of the gel. There's 2 ways I did this, and I wanted to get a vintage effect. Now, what you have to be careful of is changing the consistency of the paste that you're working with, because if you add water, then you're going to change it. It's going to be not as viscous as it should be. So using the gel, you're going to maintain that. So I'm just going to put a little bit with that, and then we've now got that wonderful colour. I'm going to put marble in now, but you'll notice it retains the shimmer. Normally with the white, the shimmer sort of is dulled down, but with this, now make sure that you don't contaminate your white if you're doing it this way. But I like the idea of doing it with this colour and then doing this, because you get an antique. But yeah, it keeps the integrity of that shine. And when you do mix your colours, you never know what you're going to get on the other side. You'll go, oh, look at that. But don't be frightened to mix them. And then what you've got left here, just leave that to dry. I found that when I'm doing this, I tend to sort of keep going over it, and I shouldn't. You just leave it. Now, if you've got
step away.
Yeah, step away. And you've got anything that you want to sort of use, or I'll use this, for instance. Just don't be frightened to put it on here, because I'm going to be doing mixed media later with all of the elements, and this is already the start of it. But if I just show you the glisten in that, that's unbelievable, and that's got white in it. And white normally, but you can still see it. It's
didn't need to use much of the darker tone to actually colour the whole piece, did you? So
and it's so strong, this colour, so strong, believe you me. So what I wanted to show you was, I did a little sort of mess about with it just to get something started. So here I've put it on white, the medium, and I'll show you how to do that. I've mixed some in it, and then I've put it on bare, and again,
right,
so you've got different finishes, but look how strong that colour is, and that is beautiful. Oh, look at that interference there as well. It's just brilliant. It is good, and I love this little box. But what I did was, it was really simple. I'm into my seaside stuff at the moment, and I'm just thinking this is like my little treasure box.
Yes.
So I wanted it to be sort of, and then I'm going to draw on it and stuff. But I'll come to that in a minute.
Okay.
So we've got that. I'm going to leave that, and I'll leave that to dry. And you do get this wonderful finish on it. Now, if you do find that you're too quick to try and pull it off, you can push it back in, because I pulled it off too early and it just went straight back in.
Okay.
But you can rip it up and put it on different areas and make...
Incidentally, the base that Lou's just referenced there, you probably noticed the details popping up on your screen. So that is your Pentart clock base. So this is where you've actually got everything that you need to create your project. So this is one of the project kits that we've been talking about. So not only will you get your base with your mechanism, naturally the hands are going to be there because you're going to need the hand to tell the time, but you've got the huge bottle here of your pouring medium. So you've got that. You're not going to use a huge amount of that. You've got your pouring glaze in there, and you've got your fabulous acrylic colours, as you can see. Now, lots of you have taken advantage of this one by itself, so 20% of the stock of that has gone. But don't forget that £13 saving is carried forward into the complete bundle that we've been talking about. And don't forget, if that's just one of the projects you're thinking of getting hold of, or you're thinking of getting a couple of them, you might find that what you're going to be paying today for your 2 projects is actually more in monetary value than would be the first flexi buy of your kind of 3 flexi buys. So that is your project. If you're wanting that, by all means, do go for it. And I know Louis is going to be working with this one. Yeah. Is it 8 o'clock tonight you're going to do the bit of the pour with that?
I'm going to do one before and then try it again and show you.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to do, just so it's easier for you to see, I'm going to do it on here in between shows, but I'll do it on here so you can see it.
Okay. Because it takes a while to set as well, doesn't it, and everything,
And on this, I can paint this, but like this, and I'll finish it off. But it's a bit hard for you to see all the colours together, so that's flat, but it will be on here. Okay. So I've got the little box, which I love. I love, love, love this box. And I've treated the box as like a canvas. So what I've done is, I've just started, done the same on here, and I've drawn some little lines, because I'm thinking of the seaside, because we've got pouring glazes, we've got interfering stuff, we've got the pouring medium, and it creates a resin-like finish. So that's my idea, using it all. So I've got this like swoop of colour, and I'm going to do the same on here, bare wood, and I'm going to use the gel. Now I'm using the blue, and I'm just going to show you how strong this is, because we're going to build up colour.
So you don't have to prime the wood, you can go straight in with the gel?
You can prime. I've got one prime there, but I didn't on this. That's bare wood, and that's filler.
Well, I suppose because of it being a gel, if you wanted to see the wood grain through, then obviously you'd see it through if you don't do it too thick.
Absolutely. Well, I was thinking, you know, the grain on this and the grain on that does make it look like waves or sand, and it's entirely up to you. But yeah, if you look at that and you want that to come through, then this gel is absolutely stunning for it. So we've got here, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit on. You really don't need a lot.
It's that gorgeous blue, that proper cobalt blue.
And it's not taking a lot. It really isn't. Now, just a word of advice is to get it quite fluid, just give it a squirt with water. I didn't. I had a wet paintbrush, and that just allows me to, all that does is just allows me to sort of work the paint in. So
I suppose because of it being a gel, you need to kind of make it a little bit more, is it viscous?
Less viscous.
I can never remember which way around is. Viscous is, the more viscous, the thicker it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
so you need it to be less viscous.
And all these are mixable. The mixables with your acrylics. So the acrylics in the set again. We've got these acrylics that are in the full set. I'm going to mix it all together. Now, what I am going to do is just lift out a tiny bit of white, because it's so easy, and I can tell you it's just so strong to concentrate on this. I will contaminate that if I'm not careful. So all I'm going to do is mix it on it, and then you'll see what wonderful colours we'll get. And you've done no work, and yet already this looks like a seaside. So again, I've got the darker acrylic in the blues, and I'm just going to shove a bit of this on. Technical term. So your acrylic will work with the gels. It'll work in the gels. If I want to darken that gel, all I'm going to do is show you now. I'm going to put the acrylic on, and the acrylic is quite strong.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So what I want to do is add the blue in, and
okay, yeah.
I'm going to get the nice sort of glisten with it, and then I'm going to get the beautiful darkness of it. So I'm just going to put that there, blend that in. Don't wet your paintbrush. If you want the colours to be true, just dry it off as much as you can to get the colour off. Dip in and then just blend that out. Now, it keeps going, this colour. It really does. You think there's not a lot. The pigment is just outstanding. And take my hat off to them. They really do know what they're doing.
And I love this because obviously you're working with, what, 2 products so far, have we seen? You've got 43 products within the complete bundle.
And that is very easy to do. I'll quickly show you on here how to do it, because you've seen it with the paint, we've seen it mixed here, but I'll just show you how easy it is to achieve that. You've got your spatulas I had on the other day. It really is tricky, not at all. And all you do is you put it on your surface, butter it, thin as you can.
And is this the light modelling paste?
This is the light modelling paste. And all you do is get your spatula and that's it. That is all you do. So that surface is that. So if anybody wants to know, that's what that is, and that's what it is on there as well. So then what I've gone and done is I'm thinking, just left that a minute just to give it, it needs to be cured but not long at all, all. So you can already see it's starting to dry. Now I can dry that off, but I'm just going to put a little bit of the browns in here. And the reason I'm putting the browns is it'll give you a really good idea of the colours, not only the colours, but what they look like on the wood and how strong they are. Honestly, I can't get over how strong they are. It's not just me trying to sell it. Seriously, I can't tell you how strong they are. And the colours are just lush, they're just luscious. So I'm going to put this on here.
Now, of course, a darker brown, that comes in the little set of, kind of like the add-on set, where you've got your 5, including that gorgeous kind of lighter tone, that fabulous green. And then you've got the, almost like a champagne tone that you use in there, which does come within your one-day special. And
the waxes will go on this. So I've got that there. Just going to move that so you can see the gold glisten.
Look at the shimmer, yes.
So I put that on the base. That won't, because it's a gel, it won't cover the wood or anything. But what it does is gives you like a slick base for you to put the other colours on.
Okay.
So we're just going to come in with the lighter brown of them, and it's just, I can't tell you how beautiful they are.
They blend together well, don't they?
I do not need to do any shading on this. I mean, you've got a different light source than me, so I'm seeing it slightly different, but I'm adding shadows and everything in, and I'm not doing anything. It's just the products do it all for me. Now, if you think that if you've got a wonderful picture of like a day out or something, this is a great little backdrop for it. You know, like holiday or snap or something. Yeah. So just going to pull the colours up now just to show you the wonderful colours we've got.
That sparkle that you get in there, my goodness, that's beautiful.
And it is, when you look at it, every time you look at it, you'll get a different sort of viewpoint, and it's just stunning. It really is. I'm going to put a bit of the blue down here, a bit lighter though, and the way you do it with lighter is a tiny bit of water, not a lot, but then the modelling paste underneath, the light modelling paste, what that does is that gives you all the textures of the water and the sand. If you've managed to get the products from before, like the 3D balls or anything like that, add all that on. So now I'm going to set that aside to dry. Don't worry if you've got like little bubbles that you're not too sure of. If you get your little sponges and stuff, let me get one, sorry. Your little sponges, this is where, oh no, I knew one. This is where this comes now. My advice is damp it off, dry it, and then work the colours in. And this allows you to sort of blend these colours in, and you get some really beautiful shaded effects there.
So do these work in a similar sort of way to how when we're talking about gel mediums, that you can use them to add texture, go through kind of stencils and things like that, and they'll leave that raised look?
Absolutely.
Oh, fabulous.
If I show you on here now, if you get a stencil or of any sort, I'll go through it. So we've got textures on here, and I'm going to show you that this is like, Leonie and I have a mop-up sheet. A lot of people do, not just us. We have a mop-up. This is our mop-up sheet.
Yes.
So all the bits that you've got left, you sort of put on here. So I've got this piece here. What I'm going to do is, she says, I've just put it here somewhere. I'm looking after it. Here it is. So the first thing I'm going to use is the gel medium.
Okay.
So if you want to use gel medium on its own, you can. If you want to use it with the gel, with the gel
You've got like the
mediums.
heavy body, haven't you? So
Yeah.
does the heavy body kind of thicken it up a bit so it saves you using so much of it?
It can do, but it also thins it out in colour.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Thickens
yes,
it
yeah.
in depth,
Yes.
but thins it out. So I've got a little bit there. I'm just going to put...
So it's kind of like the finishing layer.
Yeah, and you can see how much that is moving across now.
Yeah.
It's really... So I'll just take that off. Now, I didn't put a lot on, you saw that. And then it just moves it across like... And then what that will do is it will dry with a shine and transparent. So don't forget, if you've got a page in your book or anything, don't... Like that, I'm not going to waste that. So that's one way of doing it, and then I'll show you what it looks like through the stencil as it is.
Fabulous.
So there we go. There we've got another one. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to take this and I'll show you what it
out
looks
of space
like.
already.
I know. I'm glad I've got like loads of bits and bobs here. Sorry guys, I'll get a piece of paper now. And this is what happens is when you start mixing colours, you're like, oh, look at that, I want that, I want that. Sorry, that's not great TV, is it? So leave that to dry. That gives you lots of scope later on to build up lots of layers. I'm just going to put, say I wanted it on a card or anything, or a surface. I just moved it, so it's probably a bit peaked on, but never mind. You know I'm not the neatest of crafters, am I? So, and I don't know if you can see it, but already we've got an amazing sheen to that it just gets stronger and stronger as you use it.
Sparkling. It's a sparkle, but it's not a glitter as such, so it's not gritty.
Yeah.
But it has got that, certainly got that shimmer and sheen in there. And of course, beauty is within your one day special, you've almost got like a kind of starter range, but because you're going for the complete bundle, you're getting additional colours as well. That's the way that the majority of you have been doing so. So Lou, is it a good time for me to do a little bit of a recap?
Absolutely, and then I'll get on with my little box.
Fabulous, because it's 6:30. So we've had our first half hour of the one day special launch. So you may well just be joining us. And if so, let me introduce your brand new one day special. It's kind of like a core element with regards to the bundle that we're chatting about. Because of course you've got your one day special with your deal on your screen. So if you're wanting to go for this, you can do. Got a project with this particular one. But then of course you've got full size products. So you'll have lots of that product left to go on and do future projects, should I say. So you've got the fabulous little kind of bowl. It's like a little storage bowl with a kind of little stand on it. Very, very attractive look. And I love this because Lou was looking at it thinking it's got a very retro vibe to it, which it could do. You could almost do a kitsch style with this one, couldn't you? Or I was looking at it thinking it's got very much kind of oriental theme to it. So I was imagining kind of black lacquer, using your darker colours on this and kind of creating, which it's entirely up to you. Then you've got your fabulous elastic wood. Now this is a medium. I can't wait to see this in action because this is something that when you heat it up, it becomes pliable, which means you can use it. Now it's not often you would get a wood that you could wrap around something that's got a sphere or a round shape to it, but you can with this. Obviously it comes to you as a coil, so the idea being is that you kind of heat it up to stretch it out. It might be that you want to use it flat, or you can do, or you might want to use it to decorate your fabulous project of your box. Then what are you going to use colour wise? Well, you're spoiled for choice really, because you've got these gorgeous kind of earthy tones. So a fabulous kind of deep bronze, you've got that gorgeous pink down the front there, the most incredible champagne, and they've all got sparkle within there. You've also got that heavy body gel, so if you want to lay down a foundation, rather than using too much of your smaller pots, use that as your foundation, then go with the final layer, just as Lou showed you, with that colour. So that is your one day special. That's where you've got a £7 saving. That's where lots of you have been taking advantage of this one, but also more of you have been going for the complete bundle because the £7 saving is carried forward. That's the key thing. You've got huge saving overall. Then you've got your clock face. Now this is where so many of you got involved. I mean, you love your pours, you love all that kind of pouring media, and I think it's the way that you don't know what you're going to get when you're actually working with this. Now, this is a project again, so you're going to get your clock base with regards to this one. You're also going to get your mechanism. You're also going to get your pouring glaze, as you can see, alongside your pouring medium. You're going to get your contour as well. So, of course, your contour will give you that relief, which can kind of create little kind of areas where you want to create little puddles. You're kind of putting that boundary in, so you're keeping that pour in a particular place. And then, of course, you've got your acrylic paints, which will give you so much opportunity to add colour. Fine detail nozzle on those, so you've got complete control with regards to those if you do want to use them in that sort of style. Again, it's a project, but it's full-size products that you've got with it. So again, once you've done your project, you'll have loads more that you can go on, find your own base, and then complete even more. So £29.07, huge £13 saving. But again, that is going into your basket. I think we're up to about £20 with regards to the savings already. It's only 2 products that we've looked at. Then your metallic waxes. Oh my goodness, if you've not come across Pentart wax before, oh please, please, please do go for this complete collection, because you're going to get some beautiful colours in here. Now, you may already have some colours in your collection from Pentart with regards to the wax paste, but these are a little bit different. Your silver, I'm sure you will have some of that. Even if you use silver like I use it, you could probably do with a new pot of it, to be honest. Gorgeous honey gold. Don't forget, there are lots of different types of gold. So even if you've got a gold in your collection already, stands a chance that this is going to be a different one to give you a different tone. Then you've got that turtle green, and this is where you've almost got that verdigris look, that fabulous green that's got that gorgeous shimmer and shine in there. And then what's not to love about that rose gold? Absolutely beautiful. It's of the moment as well, very much on trend. So if you're wanting that one, again, that is included within this set of 4. Again, it's in the complete collection, and again, that £3 saving is carried forward. I think we're up to about £23 now. Then if we just leapfrog over the one day special and we start looking at the most amazing, oh no we don't, we could go into the first gel, this gel set, I forgot about this one. So this is where you're extending the colour range that you've got from your one day special. So you've got that gorgeous blue that Lou's just been working with, that fabulous green, and again you've got the most incredible teal down at the bottom. These have got a lot of interference with regards to these ones, and Lou has done some fabulous kind of charts. So let me show you these. This is kind of using them alongside the one day special, so there are some crossovers with these. So the details on your screen are just for the colours that we've got in this bundle, but if you are utilising them alongside your one day special, then obviously extending your range. So £18.75, £5 saving, approaching 20% of the stock as that has gone as a bundle in its own right, and I think we're up to about £28 with our savings. So as I was saying, let's leapfrog over the one day special, and we're kind of going down the antiquing route. Now this is something, it's a technique that you can utilise on anything. It could be wood, it could be plastic. You can get all sorts of incredible results. Sometimes you might want to prime the surface just to stop it kind of coming away, but this is where you can really create something that looks like it's aged old. Absolutely amazing, and you've got a fabulous range of colours with this one, including your paint remover as well. And again, brilliant bundle, £8 saving, so we're up to £36, I think. £14.50 being the price if you're wanting to go for it just by itself. Then the next bundle we're sharing with you, this is where we've got those silicone molds that Lou shared with us earlier on with that light modelling paste. So we're going from did I say 32? I think I said 32, didn't I? Oh, I've lost track already. Honestly, I should be writing it down. It's another £12 saving anyway. £15.99. It's the final amount, isn't it? That's the most important thing. So 885735. Again, you're getting all 3 of those fabulous moulds there with your light modelling paste. And of course, don't forget those silicone moulds can be used in a whole variety of ways with your hot glue gun, your hot glue gun art, should we say, and then things like your resins and all sorts of things you can put in there. 885734 if you are wanting those. And then the final actual project that you've got is this fabulous bottle holder, and I love this because this could be a Christmas gift. I mean, you could actually give this as a gift to somebody if you wanted to, because it is kind of all encompassed and together. So again, you've got a £5 saving. You've got your project there, as you can see, kind of calico bottle bag, and you've got your fabric paints as well as your daubers there. And of course, all of those paints you can kind of utilise straight from the kind of bottle, because you've almost got like a detail, so you've got complete control where you're applying those colours. Or you might want to do a kind of wash. Nice ombre, I think, with some of those. So £14.92, again, a very good price bundle. But put it all together, and this is when the magic starts, because you'll use elements from that one, you'll use elements from the other, you'll bring them all together in so many different projects. In fact, you've got 43 elements in the complete bundle that you've got on your screen there, and they are full-size products. We're not talking about little kind of trial sample pots. These are as you would go off and buy it on the shelves. In fact, if you were to go off and buy each of these, add each one of them individually into your basket, I think we're looking at it's over £180, I think we've figured it out. out at. So you can see a considerable saving with the price of £124.41 on your screen there. A lot more than that £10 saving that you might think that you're getting. You're actually saving £63 because all of those little bundles where I lost my thread, because there's so many savings, plus the additional £10, you've got a £63 saving. So it's almost like you've got several of those bundles coming together just as a bit of a bonus, really, isn't it? 3 flexi buys at £41.47 will get you everything. And I just need to let you know that it is on extended delivery because of Pentart. Obviously, we've got to bear that in mind. So it's the 7th of October that this huge box of goodness is going to arrive on your doorstep. But a quarter of the stock has gone. We're going to head back over to Lou in a few moments, but let me leave you those details. 604024. And don't forget, it's what you can do with these. So many different ideas, so many different projects, and of course Pentart, jump onto their social media, you'll see loads done with all of these as well. So Lou, what's the plan? What's next?
Right, we're going to set our elastic wood up onto our box so that we've got it ready to paint.
Oh, okay.
So if you've got a piece of string at home, all you do is you go around this with a piece of string and then you measure how much you need. It's as simple as that. But the way you do it is you need to warm it up, because if not, it'll snap. And I'll just show you. I've just warmed that bit up, but see, it'll snap off. Okay. So you need to warm it. And the best way is a hairdryer, really, because it's less intense. Now, I've brought my heat gun because that's all I have got. And all you do is you just warm it, because you have got a little bit of time to play with it. You know, you don't have to be really, really fast. And you would sort of heat it up and glue it in position with your heavy body gel. But I've not got that much time, so what I'm going to do is glue it with my glue gun. So, started to get softer.
It's starting to open up and uncoil, isn't it?
So, it starts to get a bit softer. This is the one time that you do want to faff your brush, your thing around.
Waft it.
Because you can start to see now.
Oh, yeah.
And all you do is just, it'll start to move in your hands, and this is when you sort of say, right, OK, how much do I want? And if you're unsure, just follow what I'm going to do. You can see now it's starting to relax. And I can move it around. Don't be too quick with it, because you want to, it'll get really bendy if you want, but what you want to do is do it gradually. There we go, starting to ease up now. Now, it'll keep doing this. It will keep repositioning it. It'll stay like that when it's cold, and you can reheat it. So I'm just going to put a blob there. Now, you'd put your heavy body gel, and that would glue it for you. Now, I'm put it just here, and all I'm going to do is just put that on there. Your heavy body gel would do this. But can you see now how straight that is? I adore this stuff. It's not often I get the chance to play with it either, so... And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, around. And because it's exactly the same colour...
It's kind of like a quick dry, isn't it, with a hot glue gun?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not the best stick, but it is for TV.
Oh, look at that already. That looks fabulous.
And there's no messing. If you've got a glue gun and it's a permanent one, use it by all means. But the heavy gel matte medium is really the stuff that you can use. So what I don't want people to think is that, oh, I can only use it with the matte medium. No, you can use it with your glue gun as well. So, you know, people can use what they've got. Luckily, it is really easy. And I'm not...
Oh, wow.
I'm not heavy-handed with that.
And it's quite a tricky surface. You've got a rounded surface that you're cutting it with. I suppose if you'd measured it, you could kind of cut it on your craft mat or something like that.
Yeah, you can do. And you can actually, you can cut it on top, or you can cut it, how can I put it with, like normally we'd sort of wrap it over and cut it, and then you get a proper joint on it so that it joins really well together. But I've got a little gap there. I'm going to fill it a tiny bit there. You won't notice it. And then what I am going to do is put a little bit of light modelling paste. Now...
Oh, I love that already.
There we go. That's completely sealed on there now.
That looks brilliant.
Hang it over, simply because if I hung it over, there's a lip on that and it wouldn't sit.
Oh, yes, yes. So just be careful, yeah.
And these little ones are really cool because the paw, if we can just sand them or whatever, the hands of the clock would be really good if you just wanted to use a dot, one of these as the...
Oh, yes.
3, 4. You can do it in numbers. But this is now.
Oh, look at it. It's gone back to how it was before.
If I wanted to now, I could just do, and I think I quite like the idea of doing one on the bottom. So again, all you do, it's a bit like when you do anything first, you've got to sort of get it used to it, and then the second time it doesn't take as long. But this is the same colour more or less as you would, so painting it accepts all paint. I just think it makes it look really classy and unique, and no one else would have it like this, because you're putting it wherever you need it.
I mean, it's something that you said earlier on, even if you've got little bits that are left over, you can almost use those little bobbles on different things, like you say on the clock maybe, or something like that.
Well, you can, because they glue on anything, and this isn't just for this box. This would go well on all your mixed media.
Yeah, and it's lightweight as well, so it's not adding any bulk.
It's very, very light, very light. Just going to leave it on a minute. No, it's okay. You can see it's okay. I've got a little bit of time. I know I once had a lady say to me, "Oh, but I have to rush." You don't actually. You don't have to. If you go and have a cup of tea, then you'll have a problem. You'll have to reheat it. But you don't now, because you've got a bit of time. Now I'm just going to put that on there. There's a little lip there. Just going to add a little bit more, and you can add it. You see, the thing is, you can add it wherever you want, like you were saying, Hayley. It looks great with like little. You see, this is getting a bit. I don't want it to snap, and for the sake of
do you kind of get a feel for it when you're working with it? Okay.
You do, absolutely. There's a resistance. As soon as it starts getting resistant, stop. Just warm it. You can. There's no problem if it does break, because all you do is join it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's just that it's easier to work with and get the finish right if it's warmer. Now that, you see, resistance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just do that and warm that up.
Little and often.
Yeah, you really get the feel of it, like you say. And if you're using a hairdryer, you've got less intense heat. And it's really quite. I suppose,
just you don't want to use the heat gun on it on one particular area for too long, because you could scorch it, I suppose.
You can scorch it, but I've not had a problem with it yet. Again, I've got the join there, and for some reason, for some absolutely amazing reason, it's just allowing me to cut it straight.
Lining up perfectly. The crafty gods are shining down on you, Lou, tonight.
Look at that. Wow. So. You can always, and if you find that you can't get that, what you can do, which is really easy, is cut half on 2. So if I was to cut one in half and the other one, and you can
like a scallop type thing.
You can jiggle it around then, and what you can do is cut that in half.
Oh, sorry, I thought that's what you meant originally. Oh,
yeah, well, no, that's a good idea. But if you're trying to get it to match up, you can easily do it with a.
You could almost use like little gems almost going round, couldn't you? When you've got kind of few left over, that not enough to actually go round something, then you could quite easy just kind of snip into them, and they look like little tiny biscuits or something like that, don't they now?
There we go. And they squeeze like biscuits as well, because you know, when you cut a biscuit, it sort of squashes down, but that's what they look like when you cut them. So
again, you're kind of making it go even further now.
Yeah, you can do half a, if you wanted that on there. It might
be a frame, if you've got a square frame or something like that, you could just use,
It would work really well if you just wanted to, in the corner there.
It would go a long way when you start using it like that,
You know, in the corner there, it'd fit perfectly, because it's at an angle, so like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, of course,
But I really like the idea that if I wanted to, I could even cut it up even more. You still got a lot left. And just to show you that was the glue in the mould, I put a bit of wax on it. So, you know, those moulds that you get with it, you can make similar ones. Yeah. So if you do want to, make some more, you can make a mould with it as well.
So you're going to be working on this throughout the one day special shows?
I am.
So kind of see it grow.
Yeah, and I'd like to. I'm going to do one where I'm going to use the lace, and then that way we can see. Keep slipping. Then that way we can see what this looks like. I don't know. I might see what it looks like with that on.
Well, you've got 5 more shows to decide, Lou.
Wow, look at the time. Blooming heck. So what I would say is, if when you've got this, is just give it a coat with gesso or a primer, only because I like to make sure that both woods, this and the wood, are all sort of the same porosity.
Yeah, because the wood, the body of the actual jar sort of thing is a different type of wood to obviously your trim. So it kind of brings everything together, doesn't it, ready for the next stage, I suppose. So fabulous little project. And of course, it's featuring within your one-day special, because that's where you're going to get your little tub. That's where you're going to get your fabulous trim. And of course, that's where you start adding your details. So then you're creating your base project, but then you go on to add your decoration, which you can do with some of the additional things that you've got in here. So straight away, even if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can use your heavy body medium. Obviously, you just need to hold it in place so as it kind of starts taking place, little clips or pegs or something like that to keep it in place. But then once it's actually finished, then you can start adding all of those different bits and pieces. So there you go. If you want your one-day special, the details are on your screen there. Now, of course, you've got all that gorgeous sparkle going on there, and you've got the sparkle available in other ways as well. So it might be that you're adding in this way, because this sparkle is, again, different colours to what we've seen within the one-day special. So it might be that you're kind of making your own little bundle. You might not want to go for the complete bundle. That's OK. You could go for the one-day special and extend the range using the colours that you've got here. So in addition to the pinks and the bronzes and those gorgeous colours in the one-day special, you've got this gorgeous blue, absolutely gorgeous, vibrant, almost like a cobalt blue. But of course, it's a gel. So when you see it within the pot, it's kind of the darkest that you will see it, because of course it's a gel. It's going to have a kind of translucency to it, which means that depending on what you work it on, whatever you put it on, you're going to get a different result. But what you will find is you will get that sparkle and sheen within there. It's almost got that kind of gold, that gilt look running through it. And of course, when you use them together, because they will blend so beautifully together, then you can see it just carries across there. Really is a clever medium to work with and very, very effective. So that's it going on to white cardstock. Of course, put it onto different colours, then it's going to get a different result. So that's the beauty of this one. But again, if you're wanting to extend the usability of your one-day special, you might want to add that one in for an extra £18 and 75 pence. But bear in mind, when you're adding these bundles together, you might find that your own little bundle that you're making, you're actually going to be paying more than you would do for the first Flexi Buy and Complete bundle. But you will get all of those ingredients in there. So the whole bundle is made up of your one-day special, all of those other little bundles that we've been chatting about, giving you 43 full-size products. Of course, within there, you're going to have your different projects that you're going to be able to work on. So the bowl that Lou's working on, the fabulous clock that we're going to see come together over the next 24 hours, and of course, the fabulous bottle bag as well. So those are actual projects that you've got within here, but you've got your full-size products that you can use and go on to use way beyond those projects once you've completed them. Of course, they're all available as individual bundles, so if there's something you particularly have an interest in, if you specifically want to go for the clock, you can go for the clock by itself. If you specifically want to go for the one-day special, then you can do. If you're like me, you love your fabric paints and that's the bit that excites you, you can go for that particular set. But of course, the biggest saving is when you go for it all together. Now, you might think to yourself, oh, hang on a minute, £10 saving. What's she on about? Brilliant saving. That's not a brilliant saving. It's only a tenner. A tenner, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money. But when you go for the complete bundle, that £10 is in addition to the savings that you're getting on all of those different bundles. So in realistic terms, you are saving £63 overall, because many of these have got individual savings as a bundle, and you will still get those savings. So that means that you've got all of these that you'd normally, full size, if you were going off and adding them all into your basket individually, you're probably going to be paying in the region of £180 for everything, but not when you go for the complete bundle that we've got for you today. Now, rapidly approaching 30% of the stock has gone. So if you're wanting yours, the details are there on your screen. 3 flexi buys. Bear in mind you've got extended delivery on this one, but what an amazing bundle. You can see this at the bottom of our screen. It's going on forever, that little scrolly thing. Poor Molly had to type all the details in. She's been gone 25 minutes typing all that in, honestly. Now, we haven't got a huge amount of time left. We've only got about 3.5 minutes, Lou. So some of those items you've been working on earlier on, how are they looking? I can see your seaside scene coming together.
Yeah, I thought I'd show you, and this is just a flat scene so that you can see all the sort of gels, mediums and everything coming together. I've just given this a little bit of a white
oh, that looks nice.
Prime coat, and I'm going to antique this later.
Oh, nice.
So I thought I'd show that. I've got a book that I did I'm going to antique that one. So this one I'm going to add some waxes, and I'm going to add some, you can add some antique into this if you want. So the first thing is I'm going to look at my waxes and just think, right, where do I want the colours and what colours do I want? So I've got a silver and a green, so I'm going to build up the colour. Now you can do it two ways. You can use a brush that you designate. Now keep this brush for this. You don't need to use a brush, but it does get a little bit easier if you want to do stuff like this. And you just work it into your brush, you can see. And then all I'm going to do is just darken it over. So I get an overall effect. I'll just show you what that is
like
there.
tickling the surface.
There you go. You can see.
Oh, gosh, yes.
There's an overall effect to it. So you're not using a lot, but what you're doing is you're sort of pushing it in to the sort of nooks and crannies. And then what you can do is get the next one, and if you want to, you can use one of the little sponges or whatever you want, and you can get, this might be a bit damp, but you can use your finger actually. And then it smells gorgeous, this. All you do is make sure you work it in, and then you just lightly on the surface.
And it's lovely because it's kind of got a citrusy fragrance. So if you've worked with waxes in the past, they kind of smells a bit like shoe polish, some of them do, don't
yeah,
they?
these smell
with
gorgeous.
these ones have got a lovely freshness to them. And the colour content that you've got within these, I mean, you can see there just that little bit that you're adding really does make a difference. And
you think about contrast because they all mix together, so I'm adding like lots of different colours here. So what I'm going to do is get a mishmash, but if you think, I'll do of sort of clashing colours on the blue. If I pick the copper up now, you'll see
kind of warms it up a bit, yeah.
And I can go in with my paintbrush and warm that up again. But the more, so I can push it in like that, and then if I want to, I can really buff it off.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm pushing the wax into the actual paint and then buffing up the blue so that it disappears into it.
Very nice. And again, another project that can grow over the next 24 hours.
Absolutely. They all mix together. If I wanted to make a little bit of, say, the copper, and I wanted to make it a lighter, I could just
make your own colours there. Now, we are literally down to the last few seconds of the hour. So, of course, Lou, you're back again a little bit later on.
Yeah.
I love this. It's kind of one of those situations where everything kind of evolves over the next 24 hours. So, yeah, lots more to see from the One Day Special and the complete bundle. So, Lou, thank you for your inspiration during this.
Yeah, I loved it.
She's in her element. She's having a fabulous time, I love it. And it really is an incredible deal. Full-size products you've got here, 43 in total, and you are saving, well, a huge amount, 63 odd pounds. Yeah, do your maths, check it out, but make sure you get hold of yours while you've got the chance. I'll see you later.